Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dean's Crypto Space. We're live on Monday, 2nd of August, 10 to 6 p.m. in UK time. I'm in Manchester this week, probably from Monday to Wednesday, but likely to be extending my trip to Friday, doing a few business here, plus some relaxation. So it's going to be an interesting story I'm telling you today about my property stories in Manchester and how it is linked. And I find the similarity between properties and cryptos, or anything and everything, in fact, when you're doing investment and the thinking behind things. So if you're interested to my stories, let's get started. Please like and subscribe. And everything I say today is not financial advice. Thanks. So today, actually, it's been an interesting weekend. I decided to come to Manchester actually a few times, but because of COVID and my dad was ill late 2019, I booked 2 trips, and both of them I had to cancel for various reasons. One was that I needed to go back to China quite urgently for my dad, and last year it was just the closed down before COVID, so I had to cancel my tickets. And the reason why I wanted to come to Manchester is because I have some investment in this place. So back in 2013, I accumulated some cash, saved some money, worked hard, and was able to afford a very small flat in London. I bought that, and I thought that was the end of my property life, because that was the knowledge I had at the time. You have your home, you own your home, and you pay a mortgage, and that's pretty much about it. Or unless you get married and have kids, and then maybe you will extend your home. So I never know anything beyond that at that point, and that was 2013. And because I was doing the research myself, doing some investment myself prior to that, so I did some investment in a fund, I think, to get a bit of more interest out of my savings compared to just a saving account. So I was quite sensitive towards the property market and all the information around it. So one day, on my way to work, or maybe on my way to home after work, I was reading a Metro newspaper, and there was a little corner on the right hand side saying, um, do you want to do buy to lets properties, and do you want to be financially free? I had a look and I thought, okay, that's interesting. Of course, I would like to be financially free. But buy to lets, what is that? I don't really know. So I went on to the seminar. It was for free anyway. I listened to one. And that guy was good. He was demonstrating how buy to let works. And he had a very good 1 or 2 examples of people who, like me, from a different country and having their own life here in this country. And apparently that guy bought a few properties and got a really good passive income. So I that was the first time I learned the idea. And then after a few weeks, I saw another advertising called Joe Fielding's financial property buy to let course. And I think it was an afternoon free seminar to start with. And then it's a 3-day course that you need to pay for it. And then it's a whole year course. So I did that. I attended that. Actually, I paid, I think it was like um, £300 or £400 for the weekend course or 3-day course, and then it was a £8,000 course for a whole year. It was not cheap. It was quite expensive to me at the time, but I was still persuaded by Jill to attend it, and I learned everything about buy to lets and the possibilities of how you can generate passive income from these buy to let investments. And that's the time when I realized, okay, quite different from Shanghai, from China, where I come from, that people invest in properties for capital growth. So you buy something cheap with a price and you wait for some time and the property price go up and then you sell. And that's more or less what people do back in China. But here in the UK, it was very different. the idea is, so long as you have a very high ROI, return on investment, you can buy anywhere that has a really relatively low or reasonable price of the property, and you pay the smallest amount of money you can. For example, 25% of the total value of a property as a buy to let. It's the deposit requirement you need to do here. And then you borrow money, the rest of the money from the bank, right? And you pay a mortgage. And sometimes they even recommend you to do interest only mortgage. So every month you pay a very minimum amount. And then the property usually will generate a decent rent for you that is not only able to cover your mortgage, but also leave you with a little bit of passive income as well, so-called cash flow. And the idea is you have multiple properties, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe whatever you need in order to achieve the goal of financially free. So I remember at the time the teacher asked us to work out what is your monthly expenses, how much money do you need in order to be financially free. And I remember very clearly at the time I wrote down something like £2,000 a month because that was my expenses then. And now my mortgages are over £2,000. So I don't know why, when you grow older, you spend more money and you have more debts. That's just something really crazy. But anyway, so in 2014 and 15 or 16, I think I bought my buy-to-lets in Manchester. I got to know a friend from the course, and he owns 10, 20 properties in Manchester and London. And I bought two small buy-to-lets from him through the course. And I had the two buy-to-lets until now. So today it was my second time actually visited the property. So I'm going to show you a picture of me and the property. I didn't even look at the property when I bought them. That's something that if you don't know this, you would be very surprised. Like, how can you buy a property without actually seeing it? But that happens a lot in the buy-to-let world. And you just I bought the properties with tenants in, and the agent is managing the property, so it's just transferring the ownership for him. So I met my agent, very nice guy. Here is working very hard. They manage 1,000 properties across Manchester, and they own something like 300 properties themselves in Manchester. So this is one of the property I own. It's the one here. It's this one. And then and the other one I'll show you is this one, which I saw. So this is not my car. This is my tenant car. I saw the lady who rents the house and his grandchildren as well. And I guess it's interesting that they sort of met the landlady of where they live as well. And we just literally said hello. My agent is very experienced, so he managed everything. He says, oh, there's a bit of tile coming off the roof. We'll fix that and everything. I just like stood there like just smile basically. Didn't really know what to say or what to do. But that's experience. So today's stream title is to sell or not to sell. So literally that means I am making a decision on selling my Manchester properties. And if you want to know why and how and etc., this is my thinking. Personally, I have a bit of a big mortgage to pay. At the beginning, if without entering into the crypto market, then property I think would be one of the biggest investment I put my money in. And the idea would be, okay, having as many as property as you can to achieve good passive income in order to be financially free, or just to have a bigger income every month. Doesn't have to be quitting your job or anything. In fact, I don't plan to quit my job at all because I'm enjoying doing my job, and it gives me a lot of freedom to develop business as well as to explore new areas and linking with a lot different people and organizations and meeting incredible people and owners of business. So the reason I want to sell is probably because number one, my ideas started to change since I entered into the crypto market. So that's a very important piece. Although I did not make much money in 2018, as I mentioned earlier in my earlier videos, because of my formal type of mentality, I entered into some ICOs and they did not turn out to be all very good. But now, since last year, I was just telling a friend of mine that I watched my one Bitcoin from something around 8,000-9,000 US dollar to 60,000 US dollar, 64,000 US dollar this year. So I actually watched my one Bitcoin went up like that without doing anything else. So I think now I have a much better understanding in the crypto market. And I was explaining to the friend who owns 10, 20 properties in Manchester that I recognize the crypto space is going to be a good place that you park your money, you own, you take ownership of an asset, and more likely to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and mainstream coins. And then you don't buy low and sell high. You try to buy low, but you hold on it, you hold on to it. And using DeFi, with DeFi's availability, you can actually use your treat them as your assets, borrow money against them, and do other investment, do other things. So I try to explain to my friend about that when I told him I'm going to sell the 2 properties I bought from him. So he was a little bit surprised, but he understood, if I need to do that, I do that. And he is also an investor, has business in Africa and North America, as well as in Europe. So we had a very good discussion about economics, and we also discussed our views on crypto. Although he's not entered into the crypto market, he's not against it because people back from his country do a lot of trading as well in Bitcoin. So he's fully aware of that. But I explained to him on top of what people might have the view in 2017, 2018. But now with Ethereum, with DeFi, with NFTs, everything's different, and everything will be different from the traditional finance and going towards the future. So, so comparing my properties in Manchester, I bought in 2014 and 2015. The price of them has gone up maybe 25, 30%, maybe slightly more, because my agent need to do more research next week to let me know and give me a proper quote on how much my property might be able to be sold on the market. But even it's gone up 50%. That's how many years? That's 5, 6, 7 years, and the price has gone up by 50%. Okay. Well, if it's in the crypto space, if you have bought Bitcoin, for example, in 2013, 14, what the price would be? And I remember what the price was in 2013, maybe 1,000 US dollar. So, that's how many times. So you just can't compare. But nobody knows, right? Nobody knew in 2013 what will happen to Bitcoin. But now I know. Now I can foresee. Now I have a belief in the crypto space. I have a more sensible judgment, and I'm becoming more knowledgeable on the crypto space. So I can then make a formal decision or sensible decision on, okay, where do I park my money? What is actually more sensible? Okay. And my friend was giving me advice on I should always own assets that is tangible. And he explained to me that tangible assets means something you can see, you can touch, or something is maybe in the real world that it can be used. That's my understanding from his explanation, which I totally understand and I totally agree. And as I said earlier in my video, if had I not known crypto, had I not entered into the crypto market for these years and gained knowledge and experience and mistakes and obviously gains, I wouldn't argue with him at all. I would just say, yeah, of course, property will probably be one of the safest and the best investment an ordinary person can have. But now with crypto, I reassess the situation, and I also spoke to a friend of mine in Shanghai. She's a very nice lady. She's very pretty, a very good friend of mine. She holds the same view. She thinks unless you own a property or piece of land that in a very unique area that is highly demanded, in a top one or top tier city in a country, regardless of where it is, could be China, could be UK, could be US, could be any countries, then that's a lot more meaningful. And if you own property that are in third or fourth tier cities and not the best, most competitive area, then you do need to reconsider what you own and whether you should sell or not. So she agrees me to sell. And then I also talked to a colleague of mine. I didn't say very much. I basically just said, I just have this gut feeling that this investment, apart from the mortgage pressure that I feel all these years, that having to pay 3 property mortgages out of a salary, it's a lot of pressure. I just feel if I were going to reinvest or putting my money somewhere else, apart from make my mom feel safe or make myself feel a bit more comfortable with a bit more cash, I just feel maybe crypto space and house in London are going to be a better place. And my colleague said, I tend to agree with you. It's probably you're right. Nobody knows exactly what might happen. And today, when I visited Manchester, the properties where the areas is, it's nice. It's near the Manchester City Stadium, and there was some renovation done since I visited, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And its streets looked clean. Property looked reasonably well maintained. And one property probably needs to be fixed before I sell it. And it's going to work out okay because I can sell it. So I end up paying, I think it's the capital gain tax this year, and fix the other property and sell it the following year, maybe. And then, I can divide my tax to 2 years. So I don't accumulate, I don't have too many tax pressure within 1 year period of time, etc. So that's probably the strategy. But I'm waiting to hear more from my agent this next week to make a formal decision. I also probably need to speak to my accountant as well. But that's probably not going to affect too much because I don't have a big income as such that I need to worry too much about tax. What I have to pay, I just have to pay, and the property here is not a huge amount anyway. And then I can decide what I do. It might take a while, as I said, but I just think it got me thinking, and I hope you're enjoying the story. And I think everybody will have their personal investment decisions they have to make, and a lot of times you want to make money, probably quicker money, better yield from a particular area, such as crypto. Maybe it's fund, maybe stock market you do, and you want to make that quick money out and then put it into things like tangible access, as we said. So more likely into houses, properties, or if you're a business owner, maybe into business as well. That's probably the normal thinking, probably the traditional thinking. But for me, I see it different now. I see crypto space as one of the best investment place that I can be. But you have to really treat it as an asset that it's going to be as precious as a property you buy. If you don't respect what you buy in the crypto space, then that's the end of the story. It's not going to give you very good return. Same as how you treat the property. When I bought it in 2014, 2015, I bought it, I set it, I arranged the agent to look after it, and done and dusted. I don't even worry about it. I don't sleep thinking about what's going on with my property in Manchester, do I? No, I don't. I look at the statement they send me every quarter or every year, or I worry about the figures when I need to pay tax, and that's about it. I don't really worry too much about it, apart from my building insurance climb secretly every year. And I think also like trying to tell myself to be like converting my mindset into from like buy low sell high mindset into like managing property mindset, in order to kind of really sinking into this crypto space, really practice what I believe into owning assets and enjoying DeFi and managing assets, like the way I manage a business, like the way I manage my properties. So that's what really interests me. So this is my live stream today on a Monday evening. And this is the hotel I'm staying in Manchester. So tomorrow I'll try to stream from downstairs. I think they have a really nice lunch here, and I will see how things go this week. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. And if you want to continue the discussion, we can talk on WeChat and on Discord and on Twitter. So do follow me on that as well. I hope you have a good evening. I will see you next time.